Hallo und herzlich willkommen zurück bei Gabriel Knight. Wir befinden uns im Laden St. George und haben gerade das Gemälde des Vaters verkauft für $100. Ja, was nicht unbedingt so toll ist, aber jetzt haben wir wenigstens Geld, um zum Dixieland Drugstore zu gehen und die Maske zu kaufen, was wir jetzt tun werden.
I'll be back later.
Don't hurry back on my account.
Hi. Nice weather we're having.
Don't bother me. Can't you see I'm busy? St. John's Eve is coming and I got to be ready.
Have you always lived in New Orleans?
My papa and his papa and his papa, all the way back to the days of Marie Laveau we've been living here.
So does any of this stuff actually work?
Are you crazy, man? These are just curios, novelties for the tourists.
I'm a businessman too. I own a bookstore here in the French Quarter.
I don't really care, me. I got a store to run.
Nice weather we're... Can I ask you just a few more questions?
Whatever, man.
Are you still interested in selling that crocodile mask?
Or you show me $100 and the mask is yours.
$100 in cash. That's the most money Gabriel had in his pockets in 2 years. The money says, "In God we trust."
I have $100. You still want to sell that crocodile mask?
That's $100, sure enough. The mask, it's yours, sir. Here you go. Careful it don't bite you now.
Yeah, thanks.
Don't you go forgetting your lagniappe. A free bottle of Master Gambling Oil.
The sign said I could get Lady Luck oil instead.
Well, I wasn't thinking a man as young as you would be needing that kind of remedying. But if you's having problems with your...
Oh, that's all right. Believe me, I don't need it. I'll just stick with this. Thanks, anyway.
Of course, it ain't none of my business if you do need it.
I don't need it.
Of course you don't.
The crocodile mask is made of genuine crocodile head. It looks heavy, hot, and smelly. The mask has no writing on it inside or out. The small bottle is labeled Master Gambling Oil. The label reads Master Gambling Oil, but no ingredients, warnings, or instructions are included. The oil is better preserved with the bottle cap on.
Was kann ich denn damit jetzt machen? Okay, vielen Dank, der Herr. Die Frage ist, wo gehe ich jetzt hin? Ach so, ich könnte mal gucken bei dem Maler. Der hat doch dieses Bild angefangen.
How's it going today?
What? Oh, it's only you. Man, I have been jumpy all day. That pattern of yours really freaked me out for some reason. There's just something creepy.
You finished it?
Yeah, and you're welcome to it. Here.
Wow, this is great.
Uh-huh. Just don't, blow up the planet with it or something, okay?
I didn't mean to upset you.
Ah, forget it. I'm probably just being stupid. Do your thing with it and good luck.
Okay, das klingt ja sehr mysteriös.
The reconstructed Vévé was done for Gabriel by a technical artist.
Okay.
The artist's reconstruction of the Voodoo Murders pattern looks accurate to Gabriel. Something about it seems vaguely familiar and creepy.
Okay.
Thanks again for that pattern.
No problem.
Hey, lass mich durch.
Madame Lorelei, the fortune teller, is garbed in a belly dancer's outfit and wears a boa around her neck. A real boa.
Eine Schlange.
The booth is a colorful mélange. It announces the owner as Madame Lorelei and gives prices for palm reading, $20, crystal ball gazing, $15, and birth charts, $50. Madame Lorelei lounges at the booth, fondling her snake.
Aber so viel Geld habe ich ja gar nicht mehr.
Come on, boys. Hoopla.
I'm looking.
Gabriel leers at the dancer, but she seems to want a more overt demonstration of his appreciation. She's busy at the moment.
Mittanzen vielleicht.
Not a bad idea.
Ooh, baby, I love the way you move.
Madame Lorelei winks knowingly at Gabriel and twitches her hip.
Yep, she wants me.
Madame,
Thanks, boys.
Sie haben da was verloren.
It's a silken veil. Gabriel doesn't want to take that out of the park. Perhaps Gabriel should pick it up first.
Aber ich darf doch nicht. Jetzt plötzlich.
The veil belongs to the fortune teller. It's covered with shiny iridescent sequins. That item cannot be read. That object does not open. Gabriel examines the veil with a magnifying glass. That sequin looks a little strange. Why, it's a snake scale. Gabriel carefully uses the tweezers to remove the snake scale from the veil. Gabriel has a scale from the fortune teller's boa. Gabriel magnifies the scale from the fortune teller. The iridescent scale is hued olive green. It doesn't seem to match the scale from Lake Pontchartrain.
Okay. Die Wahrsagerin war es also auch nicht.
Did you lose a veil?
Huh, my veil. I'm always losing those things. You have no idea. Well, darling, you're such a sweetie to return a lady's delicates, and so handsome as well.
Well,
And since you have such a clear interest in fortune-telling, let me see your hands. They look so strong. Perhaps they will make both our fortunes clear, no?
I wish something would.
Strong. Yes, and yet so delicate and flexible.
You don't know the half of it.
Oh, good. I see a mysterious woman in your immediate future.
Madame Lorelei winks at Gabriel knowingly.
She is a dangerous one, dark and beautiful. Ah, I see the road of your life forking. And very soon.
The blood drains from Madame Lorelei's face in an instant. Sweat beads on her upper lip.
Are you okay?
Oh God! Beware! Beware!
Was war das denn?
What is it about me lately?
Ihre Stimme war so komisch. Ob sie wirklich Kräfte hat? So, wo gehe ich jetzt hin? Ich habe keine Ahnung, wo ich hingehen soll. Ich gehe einfach mal aufs Revier und guck mal, was da so abgeht.
Hey, nice precinct.
Think so? That's peachy. That means more to me than you could know.
Kinda quiet in here today.
Yeah, summer's like that. It's too muggy to mug. Too hot to heft.
How clever.
It's a gift.
So, what's new around the old police station?
Well, we're now allowed to shoot chatty pedestrians on sight.
That sounds convenient.
I like it.
Na, na, na.
So, anything interesting happening around here?
Look, I got a job to do. Chat with someone else, huh?
So,
Na gut.
got a second, officer?
What can I do you for?
Do you know anything about animal masks?
I see plenty of masks during Mardi Gras. Not many animals, though. Of course, there's plenty of animals underneath.
Do you know anything about animal masks?
You don't want to make me repeat myself, bud.
Okay, okay.
Do you know anything about Marie Laveau?
Marie who? Is she the one that hangs out on Conti and Nash?
No. Never mind. I'm here to see Detective Mosley.
He's in his office. Go on back.
There's a photocopy machine in the office area. Gabriel scans the bulletin board and sees a lot of bad photographs and worse writing. Talking to thin air could get one arrested here. That doesn't seem to be removable. There's a temperature gauge on the wall near Mosley's office. It's in a locked cage. They must be concerned about the budget.
Oh.
You son of... Give me back my badge. Now, Knight!
Ach ja.
Sure. Thanks for letting me borrow it.
Yeah? Well, you borrow it again in your history. Now, about today. Glad you made it. It'll give you a feel for how I am in action. You know, handling suspects, that sort of thing.
I'm sure it'll be invigorating. Who is this guy anyway?
Calls himself Crash. He's been an informant for us before, mostly helping us bust small-time pimps and dealers trying to break into the territory. Well, he's been staying invisible during these murders, but we picked him up this morning at Jackson Square. Pushing coke? He knows something. Call it detective's instinct.
Detective's instinct. Got it.
Alright, Crash. I want to hear about these murders. You been present at the so-called voodoo ritual?
I don't know nothing. I told you.
Oh, come on now, you can tell me. Do you know anyone who's been to these rituals?
Look, I can't say nothing. You gotta let me go, man.
Now, you relax. No one knows you're here. The men who picked you up were plainclothesmen.
Plain clothes, like you could fool them. They know I'm here. They've got ears all over the city. They know everything.
Now, who are they, Crash? Are they the ones doing the murders?
Let me go.
If you're so worried about being detained, start talking. Now, you tell me what I want to hear, and maybe I can get you in the witness protection program. But you have to earn it.
Witness protection? Are you crazy? Don't make me laugh. Jesus, just let me out of here.
Now, come on. Who's behind these murders, Crash? Why are the victims all members of the underworld?
By now they know I'm here. I mean, it's different when I'm supposed to come here. Well, if I can send a message. Tell him I didn't say nothing.
Christ, he's frickin' useless. Take him back to detaining, would you, Tony? I tell you, times like this, I'd kill for truth serum and damn the civil rights.
Can I quote you on that?
Huh? Hell no. Damn! We can only keep him for 24 hours. Tomorrow morning, I might have to let him go. Sorry it wasn't more exciting. For the book, I mean. Maybe you can punch it up some. You know, what do they call that? Fiction, that's it.
It certainly is. I'll see what I can do.
Ich denke schon, dass der was weiß, nur der ist halt sehr verängstigt. Der hat gesprochen von denen, irgendeine Gruppe von Leuten. Und die sind so mächtig und angsteinflößend, dass er nichts sagt.
You been feeling okay lately? You look like hell.
Me? You know, I can't sleep at night, what with thinking about the case and thinking about Annie.
I can relate. Played any b-ball lately?
Does it look like it? I'm so out of shape I'd probably have a coronary just looking at a ball.
I'm out of it too. We should play sometime. Get back into shape.
Man, I'd love to, Knight. I'll let you know if things ever settle down.
Anything else new?
Just work. Sorry I don't have more time to chat, bud.
Anything else new?
Just...
Can I ask you about some stuff?
You're the writer. Ask away.
Do you know anything about animal masks?
Animal masks? You mean like those Halloween masks they sometimes use in robberies?
I don't think so. More like real animals.
Never ran across anything like that.
Do you know anything about Marie Laveau?
Is she that red-headed chick that works at Freddy's?
No.
Then I don't know her.
What's the status on the Voodoo Murders case?
It sure as hell ain't going well. There's a lot of brakes being applied in different areas of the investigation. We're getting some real info on the victims now, and they're not exactly upstanding citizens. And I was hoping to get more out of Crash, but he's scared shitless. We'll have to let him go tomorrow morning.
Okay.
Well, I'll be seeing you.
Ciao, baby.
Auf Wiedersehen. Gibt es hier irgendwas Neues? Hier ist nix. Ich könnte noch mal mit dem Friedhofswächter sprechen, ansonsten. Oh.
Malia.
Mr. Knight, what are you doing here?
My family's tomb is here.
Mine too.
I noticed. Subtle.
Well, Mr. Knight, if there's nothing else.
Don't go. I need to talk to you.
Whatever for.
I can't stop thinking about you. I've been in your thoughts too. I can see it in your eyes.
Mr. Knight, you don't know anything about me. I'm not in a position to get involved.
I've said that a million times myself, but this is different. I think we both know we can't fight it. Oh, I can't believe I'm saying this.
I have so many obligations. My family is very traditional. You wouldn't understand.
Hey, I love tradition. I've seen Fiddler on the Roof 100 times.
This isn't a musical, Mr. Knight. We live in different worlds.
Look, I know you've got more money than God. Do you think I care? Do you think that's why I'm saying this?
No, I don't.
Why don't you come see my world? I have a little bookshop, St. George's on Bourbon.
I know.
See? I knew it. You're crazy about me, too. Come by tonight. Please. My world isn't so bad.
I'm sorry, but there's no place for someone like you in my life. Not now, not ever.
Damn it!
Oh. Liebeskummer. Er war ein bisschen energisch mit ihr. Das fand ich nicht ganz so toll. Sie am Arm gepackt und so. Das hätte auch besser laufen können.
Could I have a minute of your time?
What you need, boy?
You must enjoy the company of dead folks.
Unlike the living, they ain't never given me no reason to dislike 'em none.
Kind of a quiet job you've got, isn't it?
Most of the time, yeah. Yeah, they act up some at the full mood, though.
How's business today?
About like every day. It's what you call a seller's market.
Hey! Naja, gut, dann nicht. Sehr unhöflich von Ihnen.
It looks like the lecture is just starting. Gabriel decides to record the session.
Voodoo is the tribal religion of Africa, but the name Voodoo is actually a banner heading under which resides an entire body of distinct tribal belief systems. The word voodoo may sound familiar to you. What is known in the States as voodoo is actually an amalgamation of African religious systems, voodoo, and European religions, primarily Catholicism. All of the subcults of African voodoo have certain things in common. The most important is the worship of a pantheon of spirits instead of the single deity that the Christian and Muslim systems have. Some of these spirits are elementals. Some relate to specific tasks or places. Some represent important tribal leaders who have died. This spirit worship is what makes voodoo so easily adaptable. With all those spirits, it's no problem to add a few more. Say, for example, the Virgin Mary. At the height of tribal Africa, warfare was common. The one tribe would conquer another, and the Loa, important in the conqueror's tribal system, would be adopted readily into the conquered tribe's Loa pantheon. In this way, many of the voodoo cults spread and mingled throughout tribal Africa, enriching the belief system and causing innumerable offshoots. The basis for the voodoo religion seems to be as old as man himself. It has much in common with many early pagan practices: animal totems, sympathetic magic, elemental spirits in the trees, the heavens, the bodies of the sick. Africa is believed by many to be the cradle of the human race. Some of the voodoo Loa may be as old as the Garden of Eden itself. We still can't explain some of the real power of these primal religions. And note, I said primal, not primitive. There are African bokors who baffle our scientists with their supernatural powers. Now, let's discuss the elements of voodoo.
Fascinating guy.
Hey.
In voodoo, the spirits are called the Loa. During a voodoo ceremony, celebrants are possessed by the Loa, and this is called being ridden. The human worshipper is seen as a horse, and the Loa as the divine horseman. A person being ridden by a Loa takes on the characteristics of that spirit and becomes, in effect, merely a vessel for the more powerful entity. Some of the older original Africa Loa include Dambala, the great serpent god; Ezruli, the mistress of love; Papa Nebo, or Gede, the lord of death; Agwe, the spirit of water; Legba, spirit of the crossroads; and the cruelest and most dangerous, Ogun Badagri, the lord of destruction.
Ugh. Oh, I gotta get more sleep at night.
Tribe-specific Loa can have as much or more power as the more widely worshipped Loa. For instance, a particular tribe might revere highly the Loa of an ancestor who was a legendary hunter or politician. Voodoo temples are called Hounfours. Their priests, Hungan or Bokors. Their priestesses, Mama Loa. In a Voodoo Hounfour, there's a ritual circle marked by a center pole called a poto mitan. The ritual circle is prepared with a Vévé, a pattern of symbols. Each tribe's Vévé is slightly different, consisting of complex symbols that identify their special Loa. During ritual conclaves, initiates dance under the supervision of a Bokor and a Mama Loa, or head priestess. The use of totems or animal masks and markings was not uncommon in the original African ceremonies. Now, though, all but the oldest sects have abandoned this practice. Ritual objects used during the conclaves include the ritual gourd or asson, the ritual knife or kubasa.
That knife gives me the chills.
The ritual whip, or fouet cache, and the ritual coffin, or seke madule. These items are often optional, called for by the Mamaloa for specific magical rituals. The Mamaloa is the most powerful figure in any Voodoo sect. Voodoo is a truly matriarchal system. Even the Bokor knows his power is limited. The Mamaloa is the supreme woman. She butterflies, fireflies.
Firelight. No, what is it? Gabriel?
What? I can't see.
Gabriel, get in.
Can't. It's too small for me.
You must get in, Gabriel.
It's not mine. Too small.
Hide, Gabriel, hide.
No, let me out. Help.
Young man, the lecture is over.
Oh my God, sorry.
Oh Mann. Schon wieder so ein merkwürdiger Traum. Ich find's aber nicht so gut, dass er während der Vorlesung so unhöflich war.
Gabriel's in one of the lecture halls at Tulane University. The seats are the fold-down kind. Those doors lead to the projection booth. A projection screen dominates the front of the hall. The podium, Hartridge's throne. The stage provides theatrical lecture opportunities for theatrical professors such as Hartridge. There's a PA speaker on the wall. Gabriel's in one. A lighted sign says, "Exit." That door exits the lecture hall. Gabriel scans the bulletin board. Greek night at the Alpha Psi Omega frat house. It looks like it took place sometime last spring. Gabriel scans the bulletin board. There's a notice for a lecture on investigative reporting techniques to be given by octogenarian Pulitzer Prize winner Laura Bo Dorian. Unfortunately, it's weeks away. By that time, Gabriel will have to have learned on his own. Gabriel scans the bulletin board. Need a ride to LA the last weekend in August.
I wouldn't go there if you paid me.
Gabriel scans the bulletin board. Work out of your home and make up to $2,000 a week in your spare time. Call 555-6789.
I actually called them once. You sell cat food over the phone.
Gabriel scans the bulletin board. Ha! We'll do algebra or biology homework for food. There's a door on one side of the stage.
Na, dann wollen wir doch mal.
Are you a student?
No. My name is Knight. Gabriel Knight.
Well, you have walked into my private office, Mr. Knight. I hope you have something worthwhile to do here. If you figure it out, let me know.
Aber erstmal umgucken.
The door leads back to the lecture hall. The door leads back. A round pottery vessel hangs from the ceiling. Dr. Hartridge's office is crowded with masks, carved figures, and strange objects. An old globe sits atop Hartridge's file cabinet. It's Hartridge's file cabinet. The carved stone head looks African and very old. That mask is quite hideous. Dr. Hart. The squatter grins maliciously at Gabriel. It's an enormous stone head. Dr. Hart. Exotic fish lend even more color to the cluttered office. The shelves behind Hartridge's desk are full of old books. The visitor's chair looks unsteady and a little low to the ground. Dr. Hartridge's desk is remarkably neat, especially considering the rest of the room.
Did you know there's a whole branch of archaeology devoted to garbage? Maybe you should look into it. Did you know that
the shelves behind Dr. Hartridge's sharp-eyed and even sharper tongue. When he condescends to look at Gabriel at all, it's with a dismissive glare.
Der scheint ja nicht so freundlich zu sein. Aber Gabriel war auch nicht unbedingt so nett.
Your lecture was terrific.
Oh, you think so? You were snoring so loud I didn't think you'd heard it.
You must travel a lot.
Yes, to Africa, mainly.
I suppose having all this voodoo stuff sitting around doesn't make you nervous at all.
It's voodoo stuff, and no. Why should it?
I'm very interested in voodoo myself right now.
How nice for you.
Hey, you've got quite a collection of goodies here.
My travels have been rewarding, yes.
Your lecture was terrific. Mind if I pick your brain?
Not if it will get you out of my office.
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
I find it interesting to see the occasional fragment of voodoo practices in the everyday culture of New Orleans.
What else can you tell me about New Orleans?
The Catholic Church has always dominated in New Orleans, and its imagery, in turn, has dominated New Orleans voodoo.
What else can you tell me about New Orleans?
If there's more you wish to know, perhaps you should read my books.
Tell me about yourself.
All right, Mr. Knight, I'm 35, a fully tenured professor at this university, as well as a fellow at Cambridge. My doctorate was obtained at Syracuse. Yes, Syracuse, in religious studies. I'm an agnostic, but I find human belief systems fascinating. I specialize in African religions because I grew up there. My father was a Protestant missionary. And I am heterosexual, when I practice sex at all, which isn't very often. Any other questions?
No.
Fine.
Aber scheint trotzdem ein gebildeter Mann zu sein.
What can you tell me about St. John's Eve?
It's June 23rd, the feast day of St. John the Baptist. But June 23rd has been a sacred day since the earliest times. Ancient sun worshippers used to roll a flaming wheel down a hill to celebrate the sun's descent on that day.
A burning wheel? Huh. What can you tell me about St. John's Eve?
I'm not in the habit of repeating myself, Mr. Knight.
Hätte ja sein können, dass da noch irgendwelche Informationen zu holen sind.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
You already sat through my lecture on the subject, Mr. Knight. Perhaps next time you could stay awake and learn something.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
You already sat through my lecture on the subject, Mr. Knight. Perhaps next time.
Do you know anything about snakes?
I'm not a zoologist, Mr. Knight, but I know all I care to about reptiles.
Do you know anything about snakes?
I'm not a...
Do you know anything about animal masks?
As I said in my lecture, which I assume you actually listened to, is that animal masks, totems, are used extensively in most African voodoo religions.
Do you know anything about animal masks?
I'm not in the habit of...
Do you know anything about Marie Laveau?
While I find the colloquial bastardizations of voodoo somewhat interesting from a sheerly intellectual point of view, there's not a lot of relation between people like Laveau and true voodoo practices.
Okay.
Do you know anything about Marie Laveau?
I'm not in the...
What do you know about the Voodoo Murders?
I've read about them in the papers. I must admit, to some interest. But according to the newspapers, the voodoo aspect is faked, so I haven't really pursued it. You know how Americans, especially Hollywood, treats voodoo. I'm sure there are many so-called practitioners out there that have no idea what they're doing or the power they're playing with.
What do you know about the Voodoo Murders?
As I said, I don't know anything but what the papers say. According to them, there's no reason for me to be interested.
Ich denke, Sie sollten sich dafür interessieren.
Have you ever heard of a Schottenjäger?
I'm afraid I can't help you there, Mr. Knight.
Do you have any idea what cabri sans corps means?
Cabri sans corps? Yes, I do. It's a Haitian term, I believe. It's French, and literally translates as goat without horns.
As in a female goat?
No, as in a human sacrifice. Sacrifices in voodoo are usually of the animal variety. Chickens, bulls, goats. If the gods demand a goat without horns, it means a human being.
Oh Gott.
What was that translation for cabri sans corps again?
I'm not in the habit...
Tell me about Vévés.
If you'd taken notes during my lecture, you wouldn't have to ask.
Tell me more about human sacrifice.
It's very rare. Most voodoo practices do not include human sacrifice as a matter of record, but it is theoretically possible if that's what the gods demand. For example, one of the chants I had translated for me from a Haitian ritual went like this. Mistress Azuli, come and aid us. If a cock is demanded, we will give it. If a bull will suffice, behold it. But if a goat without horns is required for sacrifice, oh, where will we find one? Azuli is the gentlest of Loa, so they call on her for mercy. But I have seen grown and powerful Hungan tremble before a possession by one of the more violent Loa, such as Papa Nebo. Clearly, they are afraid that something of the sort will be ordered, or that the Loa will simply take it for themselves.
Tell me more about human sacrifice.
I wouldn't dwell on it. Most voodoo sects probably haven't seen a human sacrifice for several generations.
Tell me more about human sacrifice.
I wouldn't dwell...
Is there anything you can tell me about the voodoo aspects of this photograph?
This is serious voodoo ritual. Nasty stuff.
In what way?
Let's see. I can't make out much detail from this photograph. Except for the corpse, of course. But the wound, the face, and what little I can see of the ritual paraphernalia. Reminds me of certain black voodoo practices. Very rare. I've never witnessed them myself, you understand.
Really? Interesting. Thanks.
Oh, es ist also doch echt. Und sehr gefährlich. Oh, oh.
Can you tell me anything about this pattern?
Wow. Interesting. Very interesting. Mind if I copy this?
Be my guest.
Great. I'll be right back. Here you go. You know, this is a fascinating Vévé. You must tell me all about its origin.
Actually, I was hoping you'd tell me. Can you figure out anything about it from the symbols?
Well, some. That's why I wanted a copy. I want to research the design myself. Each of the symbols in the Vévé represents something, a loa, a place. Where did you get this?
Have you heard of the Voodoo Murders?
No, you're kidding. Really? Then the voodoo is authentic. The newspapers are wrong. Boy, are they wrong.
You think this Vévé is authentic, then?
Authentic? Mr. Knight, that's like asking if the Mona Lisa is a painting. Tell you what, I'll look into these symbols myself and see what I can learn about the sect that made this. I'll give you a call when I have more information. You are associated with the police, aren't you?
Absolutely. But I'm, undercover. You can contact me at the St. George's bookshop in the quarter.
All right. Now, I'd like to get started on this if you don't mind.
Can you tell me anything about this?
No, I'm afraid I can't.
Can you tell me anything about this?
No, I've never seen those symbols. Therefore, they're probably meaningless.
Really? Are you sure?
I am never wrong, Mr. Knight. Therefore, sure is not in my vocabulary.
Can you tell me anything about this?
No, I'm afraid I can't.
Ich dachte, er kennt sich mit Totems aus. Na gut. Ich gehe dann jetzt. Vielen, vielen Dank.
Gabriel doesn't need to do that with the door.
Naja.
I'll be going.
Good day, Mr. Knight.
Gabriel stands at the door of an old French Quarter residence. The neighborhood is a little shabby, but this particular building is freshly painted. Hall windows flank the front of the mansion. Pretty shutters frame the windows. Like many New Orleans buildings, this one is accented with ornamental wrought iron. The door frame is a beautiful example of traditional New Orleans architecture. The front door is solid hardwood and at least a century old. It's an ornate brass door knocker.
Yes? Who is it?
Hi, I'm doing an article on voodoo, and I heard that you...
I am a good Catholic, young man. Take your evil influence elsewhere.
But I just have a few questions.
I can feel the evil eye. Go away. Yes? Who is it?
I have some fine magazine subscriptions for sale.
I'm sorry, but I'm not interested.
I've got some great pet supplies. Could you cool little doggy?
Castro has everything he needs. Don't you, Castro?
Thanks a lot, Castro.
Land shark.
You are no Bill Murray.
Please let me talk to you, Madame Cazanoux.
I don't talk to strangers, young man.
Das war nicht so gut. Okay, sie ist katholisch. War das jetzt irgendwie ein Hinweis, dass ich in die Kirche muss? Oh, okay.
St. Louis Cathedral has a beautiful chapel, warm with tones of gold and cream and rich with delicate frescoes and meticulously carved wood. Rows of pews line each side of the nave's aisle. At least the cherubs are an aesthetic way of asking for donations. Curtain confessionals are a subtle, old-fashioned presence on the left of the nave. That door must lead to the priest's side of the confessionals. St. Louis Cathedral. Flags of the world are displayed from the upper story. A promotion of the universal harmony, no doubt. St. Louis. The chancel of St. Louis Cathedral consists of a raised dais, an altar, 2 pedestals, and a choir area. The chancel of St. Louis. There's an inconspicuous door near the chancel.
Dann schauen wir doch mal, was sich da drin verbirgt.
This small nook must be used as a ready room for the parish priest. It's small, cool, and has a faintly institutional feel. A long wooden table accents the room. Appropriately sacred books are laid out on the table. The vase adds a nice touch.
I love my house.
Green candles. Could that mean something?
Probably not.
A padded red bench provides seating. It's a picture of Christ. A crucifix adorns the wall. The closet shelves are stacked with the odds and ends of a saintly life. In other words, nothing Gabriel is familiar with. Long ceremonial robes hang in the closet. Gabriel cannot see himself wearing a long robe. Gabriel cannot.
I can't resist black.
It's a priest's shirt. That item cannot be read.
Okay, ich glaube, ich weiß wieder, was ich machen muss. Ich glaube, ich muss die gute Dame täuschen. Mich also als Priester verkleiden und dann lässt sie mich rein, um über Gott zu reden.
The black shirt won't do Gabriel much good the way it is.
Oh, ich glaube, ich habe diesen weißen Kragen, den die Priester immer haben, vergessen. Oh Mann. Naja, okay.
There's a box of white priest's collars in the closet.
Well, you never know when a priest's collar will come in handy.
The closet shelf, in other words. The closet in a...
So, nun gut. Dann haben wir jetzt, glaube ich, das Kostüm. Und können zu Madame Cazanoux.
Handsome, isn't he?
Man, I'm beat. This sleep thing is getting to be a real problem. Night. Gabriel Knight. In case someone wants to know. Can somebody tell me what's going on? Don't ask me, I'm even less informed than you. Could you just shoot me? Night. Hey, I'll ask the questions around here. I'm doing the best I can. You've already got me, you lucky devil. If I want to open up, I'll go to a shrink.
Move, Gabriel. Try the walk icon. There's not much of interest over that way. Gabriel is carrying a priest's shirt and collar which, surprise, surprise, do not belong to him. Inside the collar is a message. Open quote. Lit starch plus. Close quote. What could that mean?
Ja, den Kragen stärken lassen, würde ich mal vermuten.
All right, but this is private.
Yes? Who is it?
It's Father McLaughlin to see you.
Well, Father, you should be ashamed of yourself being so ill-groomed. I'm sure the bishop would never approve. You can just go get a haircut before you come calling on me again. I know my duty, Father, but a priest seeking contributions should take pains to represent the church with respect.
Okay.
The jar contains frou-frou hair gel.
The things I do for my art.
Yes? Who is it?
It's Father McLaughlin to see you.
I see you've taken my advice, Father. I didn't mean to be harsh, but the church is the church.
Well, when you're right, you're right.
Exactly. Come in, Father. Please be seated, Father.
Thank you.
Now, what can I do for you?
Wow, das ist aber pompös hier drin.
Madame's parlor is full of carefully dusted and polished relics of her past. It's Madame's front hall. Like all good hostesses, Madame has candy out for her guests. These appear to be several decades old. Madame's parlor is full of carefully dusted. The folding screen has a colorful pattern. It looks oriental. The plant looks healthy, despite Gabriel's vague impression that Castro makes great use of it. A small table holds a lamp, a photo, and a plaster saint. An old table lamp with a fringed shade gives off what little light there is in the parlor. Madame's parlor is a small. The painting behind the couch is a Madonna and Child. Madame's parlor is. Madame seems to like candles. Gabriel wonders if these two are specialties of Mr. Walker's shop. It's a painting of a pretty young lady in old-fashioned clothes.
Madame, in younger days?
Good heavens, no, father.
Madame finds comfort in these iconic images, it seems. Madame's antiques are probably worth something. Madame's parlor. The upholstered chair is less comfortable than it looks. A low wooden coffee table sits in front of the sofa. The tea service has been polished recently. Madame uses it with her Creole sisters, perhaps? There's an old-fashioned jewelry box on the coffee table. The sofa is velvet and it is wearing nearly as much of Madame Cazanoux's face powder as Madame is herself. Madame Cazanoux looks fragile and pale under a thick layer of face powder. If Gabriel is not mistaken, she's a slice short of a loaf.
It's so nice of you to invite me in.
Ah, but no, mon père. I am always happy to see one of the good fathers.
Do you find the weather to your liking?
It's terribly humid. I only go out in the morning and evening.
Have you been attending Mass regularly, my child?
Oh, yes, father. I attend Mass every morning. Many don't these days, you know.
You are dedicated, Madame. It's so nice of you.
Ah, but...
Do you mind if I ask you a few questions, my child?
Of course not, mon père.
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
The only true New Orleanians are of French origin, you know. My family were among the original settlers of New Orleans. They came here from France. The Creole society used to be so gay in New Orleans. Now it barely hangs on by its fingernails.
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
You know, I can stroll the streets of the French Quarter and see in my mind's eye the way it used to be. It was wonderful in the old days.
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
New Orleans isn't what it used to be, I can tell you. There's too few of the real people left.
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
New Orleans isn't what it used to be.
Tell me about yourself.
Me? I am Creole. My family has been in New Orleans for over 200 years. Real New Orleanians are French, you see. These days the city is overrun with people with no heritage at all. No offense, father, but it's true. But the French, naturellement, will always be the true blood of New Orleans.
Tell me about yourself.
Well, father, I don't know what else to say.
What can you tell me about St. John's Eve?
St. John's Eve? Mais oui! I used to love the St. John's Eve Mass at Sandwich Cathedral. Of course, it is also a night of great wickedness, worse than All Hallows Eve. They will corrupt anything, Father.
They? They who?
Oh, you know.
What can you tell me about St. John's Eve?
I don't think I should say any more about that.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
People think I'm just a foolish old woman, but I know the things they do. My family's been in New Orleans since 1750, so I know more than most. Voodoo people are all over this city, in the shops, everywhere. They'll curse you like that, and most people don't even notice. Spit on your bread at the bakery. Take strands of your hair at the store when you try on the clothes. You have to be so careful. But I know their ways, so I can protect myself. I know how to use the magic too, and I can counteract their evil spells.
Tell me more about voodoo in New Orleans.
It's just plain evil. It's dangerous to even discuss it.
Tell me more about voodoo in New Orleans. What do you know about the Voodoo Murders?
Voodoo Murders? Ha! They are nothing new to me, Father. They happen all the time. I hardly go out anymore. It's too dangerous in the streets. They can get you anywhere, you know. Even here in this room. But I try not to let them know about me. That's the best way.
What do you know about the Voodoo Murders?
Shh! They'll hear you.
Do you know anything about snakes?
Snakes? They're evil creatures. Did you know that evil people can send them into your dreams? They can. That's why I never sleep.
Right, thanks. Do you know anything about snakes?
It would be bad luck to talk about that anymore.
Do you know anything about animal masks?
No, Father. I don't know anything about that.
Do you know anything about Marie Laveau?
Oh, her? I could tell you about her. Voodoo Queen. Ha! My great-grandmother was an acolyte of Marie Laveau. She knew the truth about her.
Tell me more about Marie Laveau.
No, I won't say anything more. Not to you, Father. I'm sure you mean well, but you are an outsider.
Oh Mann, jetzt gerade wo es spannend wird.
Do you know anything about Vévés?
No, Father. I don't know anything about that.
Do you have any idea what Cabri sans corps means?
Mais oui, I know. I bet you do not, Father, n'est-ce pas?
It means goat without horns.
Father, you surprise me. You do know what it means. You know what they mean by goat without horns, don't you? A human being. That's right. Slit your throat, cut out your heart. Pure evil murder.
That Cabri sans corps thing.
Do not continue to tease me, Father. You know what it means as well as I.
Do you know anything about black voodoo?
Oh, yes, Father. It is the wickedest kind, the kind they practice here in New Orleans.
Tell me more about black voodoo.
I already told you, black voodoo is what they practice here.
Have you ever heard of a Schattenjäger?
No, Father. I don't know anything about that.
Do you know anything about human sacrifice here in New Orleans?
Well, my great-grandmother could tell stories. She saw it. People say that sort of thing wasn't done in New Orleans, but the real voodoo queens did it. Oh, yes.
Can you tell me anything else about human sacrifice?
What is there to tell? They cut your heart out.
Who were the real voodoo queens?
Well, my great-grandmother told me that Lavaux was just a front, a flamboyant decoy. She distracted authorities from the real voodoo queen of New Orleans. It's been the same one for almost 200 years. She's head of a secret voodoo en fort. That's what they call their temples, you know. It's so secret, most of the voodoo people in the city don't even know about it. The real voodoo queen controlled Lavaux, gave her a little bit of power, and used her like a puppet.
Is there anything else you remember about the real voodoo queen?
Well, my great-grandmother said that the real voodoo queen was the most beautiful woman on earth. She had the most incredible copper-colored skin.
Is there anything else you remember about the real voodoo queen?
Well, they are all brides of Satan. Other than that, I can't think of anything.
Tell me more about this secret voodoo hound four.
Well, I've never seen it. I wouldn't go near it if you paid me. But it's here in Orleans, I guarantee it. I hear the drums at night, oh yes. That's why I am so ill. I tell you, those drums. But we shouldn't talk about it. They'll hear us. It's the devil's work that happens there. I can tell you. I'll show you something. Something secret. You mustn't tell anyone, Father.
I swear on my collar.
Here it is, mon père. A true object of evil if there ever was one.
It radiates something, all right.
It belonged to my great-grandmother. She told my mother that it was a token to gain entrance to the real voodoo ceremonies.
You don't say.
To tell you the truth, I always felt nervous about having it in the house. You know, evil influence and all.
Oh, I can see how you would, yes.
And yet, I could never part with it. It's been in the family for generations. Would you bless it for me, Father? I feel strange asking such a thing of you, but surely you understand.
Bless this bracelet of a snake, even though its vibes aren't great. Let it do nobody harm when they wear it on their arm. Voodoo spirits, go away. Don't come back another day. And now, let us pray.
It's a bracelet in the shape of a snake. Gabriel has a thought about the clay.
Bless, oh bless this circlet of silver. Take the curse, oh take it, Wilbur.
A lovely blessing, mon père.
Yes, I think it made a lasting impression. Here you go.
I feel so much better now.
Madame Cazanoux is paranoid and fearful enough without showing her that graphic photograph.
Naja, gut.
Does this mean anything to you?
No, Father, it does not.
Does this mean anything to you?
No, father, it does not.
Okay, ich werde dann jetzt gehen. Auf Wiedersehen.
Gabriel cannot open the front hall. He only needs to walk there.
Okay.
Well, Madame, I must be gone.
Of course, father. I know how busy you must be tending your flock.
So, aber wie es weitergeht, das seht ihr erst in der nächsten Folge. Ich bedanke mich fürs Zuschauen. Bis zum nächsten Mal. Tschö.